So now why don't we talk about citizen journalism and what you're doing with Media Roots?
Sure. Well, yeah,
tell us first a little bit about how Media Roots started. How long ago have you been doing this to start with?
Sure. Well, the concept of Media Roots arose from my passion of citizen journalism, like you said. I've been a political activist and a community organizer for a long time, about 7 years now. And I just moved up from San Diego. So in San Diego, I was working as an investigative reporter for an online news organization, and the organization unfortunately dissolved, but my passion was still alive, and I didn't really have any funding, but I did have my will, and I really wanted to continue the work that I was doing over there. So yeah, Media Roots kind of just was an idea that I had of first just a news aggregate. I feel like a lot of news is backpaged, and instead you see a lot of sensationalism with trivialities, like Britney Spears shaving her head and stuff like that, and you don't really see the hard news that, you know, kind of goes overlooked. So I wanted to kind of provide a forum where I was offering news in an array of different subjects that really brought subjects to light that people don't usually hear about in the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is controlled by 6 corporations that have very specific interests. So that's where Media Roots came from, and once the website came into fruition, I started to get a lot of feedback, and I got some feedback from a soldier abroad who is stationed in Europe right now, and he just finished up a couple tours and deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he said, you know, he really wanted to be a part of it. So now I have him as a contributing writer, and I have a couple other, another local journalist as a contributing writer on the site as well. So right now I'm working on original video content. I just did my first expose on the fluoridation of water supplies. And I'm just working on other video projects here and just trying to get the community involved, and I really hope to take Media Roots to a new level.
That's great, Abby. Give us an example of just one of the things you've done right now, like stories that you have reported on.
Sure. Well, we've covered an array of issues, genetically modified foods, net neutrality, a lot of these issues that are really pressing. But the American public seems to be unaware of these things, whereas people in Europe or other countries are acutely aware and are actually taking action to stop these things, or to install them, like net neutrality. So yeah, we've covered a ton of stuff, and what I've realized though is that, you know, all I've done up to this point is really focus on political corruption and corporate malfeasance, and where I want to bring this now, this whole project, and where I want to bring Media Roots is really to a new positive and inspirational level. I feel like a lot of the news is very disempowering, and a lot of the people that I'm talking to on the streets when I'm doing the citizen journalism to get their just to get their opinions on their political perspectives, they feel very disempowered and they feel very disengaged with the system. And so where I feel like the project needs to go is really starting to highlight the great things that are happening in this community, the co-ops that are happening, the mom and pop stores that are really being sustainable and focusing on really positive things, and the slam poets that are talking about politics and really just getting people riled up. I think music and art is very integral to the movement and to where the revolution needs to go. And so I really want to focus on profiles of people in the community that are doing great inspirational things and bring that into Media Roots. And so that's where I hope to go with it.
That's great. So so what you're talking about right now is your vision right now to move forward with Media Roots, and it's something new, right, that you haven't done.
Right.
It's to really concentrate on local.
Right.
What's happening here in the East Bay and the Bay Area about people that are working alternative, right, from the mainstream, they're doing things that are separate from the mainstream.
Absolutely.
That's great. Like co-ops, for example, of course.
Yeah, co-ops and local documentarians who are doing investigative reporting. KPFA is a great resource as well, BCM. And so there are a ton of things going on here that people don't really know about, you know, and in order to seek out all of these great things that are happening, it's daunting. And so I kind of want to provide a forum where people can go and get really pumped up and empowered about their community and about what's going on, the good things that are going on, in conjunction with the news that I'm providing, which is also really important. So, yeah.
The way I see it is like, you know, you think about it, relating it to KPFA too, is like with the news that you're providing, that you have done, what you have done in the past. It's more like dismantling, right, this mainstream system, capitalist system that we live in. And it's like access to information, right, to information that we don't have access to. So you've done that, which is educating people on, making them become critical thinkers in some way. But now, and then I can relate that to what the KPFA does a lot with the morning show, with, letters to Washington and the news that they have, which is what the concerned listeners really want to see. But then I'm taking it to the other level, which is what you're going to focus on right now, which is citizen journalism. Which is that you're going to be out in the community, like talking to people, documenting what they're doing, separate from the mainstream. Because you're working it together on your website, right?
Right.
So the same KPFA can do that, working it together.
Absolutely.
As part of, and music, which is an integral part of KPFA, and art, and which is part of the movement, like you say. I agree. A movement cannot survive if we don't have those music and art,
Right, and that really reflects culture.
Right,
people,
culture.
Sometimes people don't absorb news that's sometimes really negative. A lot of people, when I've showed my website or showed my video reports to, they go, well, what can I do? This is really affecting me, and I'm really impacted by this information, but what can I do? I'm just one person. And so I think really profiling the people, these single people and organizations that are really doing something, I think can really be the future of where the movement can be, and bridging that all together.
Yeah, documenting the revolution.
Yeah, and grassroots activism, and that's where the whole name Media Roots came from, is I feel like the roots of a tree is 5 times stronger than the tree itself, and it provides, a very important source of nourishment for the tree. And then you see media as integral to the survival of a democracy.
Exactly. And
media in grassroots networks of activism need to extend 5 times more than the institutional structures that are created for us, not by us. And so we really need to work together and create a giant grassroots network of the great things that are going on to empower people effectively to really mobilize and get the movement and get the revolution going.
Get the revolution going. I know. I love that analogy on your website. I think it's great how you have the media roots, and so we can communicate with each other. I mean, of course, it's communication access, but so tell us a little bit, since we're almost running out of time here. What are you working on right now, and where can people go to collaborate with you or to check your website and?
Right now, I'm finishing up. Right now, I'm finishing up my first video report. I gauge people's opinions about the Obama administration, and I see a giant swell of support for Obama in the Bay Area. So I wanted to gauge where that support was coming from and really get an array of opinions on that. So I'm working on that right now. It should be done soon. And then I have my most recent video up about the fluoridation of water supplies, and if that's beneficial or not. And then I'm working on a bunch of original writing content from me and the other 2 contributing writers. And then as soon as I get my camera and rent out another one from BCM, I hope to start doing the profiles of the community. And I wanted to ask anyone if they wanted to submit articles, poetry, art, music, or if you're just a local artist in the Bay Area, or writer or journalist. And if you want to submit anything, please email me at info@mediaroots.org and check out mediaroots.org for more information. And I'd love to hear from you, and reach out and let me know what you got going on, and I'll definitely be there. Let's create this and let's get it going. Yep,
and we'll be here every month.
Yeah.
So everybody knows.
Tune in every month.
Every month here at BCM. So, I know we have just like 30 seconds left. What response do you get with the Obama thing? I'm just curious. Just give us a little.
Sure.
How do you say?
Sure. A lot of people love him, and they don't know why. So it's like an idol. It's kind of like this idol that's been propped up, where it really goes back to what we're saying about how grassroots networks of activism must be there. I don't believe in change from the top. I only believe in change from the bottom. And so to put all your faith in an idol, I think is, it's destructive, and I don't think that it will actually instill change. We can't depend on someone, a figurehead like that, to really provide change at the federal level. So it has to be from the people.
Got to make him accountable. We got to do it. So, all right, Abby, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We ran out of time already, but thank you, listeners.
Thank you so much.